I'm Graham Robb. I'm the composer of a short opera, Flora and the Prince. The story is of how Flora MacDonald, the famous Scottish heroine, helped Bonnie Prince Charlie escape from the dreaded Redcoats after his defeat at Culloden in 1746. I was invited to write a short opera for a performance in Carnegie Hall in New York by the remarkable Theatre Brigade. I had a completely free hand as to what I should write about, but I wanted to have something Scottish but also which has an American kind of resonance. And Flora, after the adventure with the prince, emigrated to the colonies, as they were in those days, and lived in Carolina for 25 years. I write the music, I pen the notes, but the words are all written by Jim Stewart, who heads up the creative writing department at Dundee University. I'm Jim Stewart. I'm the librettist. That's the guy who writes the lyrics that Graham makes the music for. I was at a Wagner event in the DCA in Dundee, and David Robb was sitting in the back row with his wife Elizabeth, and he says, "Hey Jim, my brother wants to write an opera and he's looking for a librettist. Should I mention you to him?" And I instantly thought, I can't do this. So I said, yeah. So then we set up a meeting in the DCA with Graham, and we started to talk, and that's when we made our decision to work together. It's the story of Flora MacDonald, who famously helped Bonnie Prince Charlie, who was on the run from government forces after the defeat at Culloden in 1746. She's feisty. She's only 24, 26, something like that, when she encounters the prince. She is of a different religion to him. She's Presbyterian, he's a Roman Catholic. She knows about the history of the Presbyterians in Scotland at the hands of Charlie's grandfather, James II. Nevertheless, she overleaps all these hurdles in order to help this man get away on purely humanitarian grounds. But she takes enormous risks in doing so, because there are £30,000 on this man's head, and anybody who helps him, of course, is being treasonous to the British Crown. So her own neck and her family's neck are risked. You gotta like this, somebody who does this. The project is to record the short version of the opera, which exists already, as a trailer for the main event, as it were. To record it properly in a commercial studio with the finest musicians. Well, I'm very pleased to say I have a star-studded international cast signed up. The two lady singers are Laura Pedersen, who's going to fly over from the States. She sang Flora in New York and is coming over to record her here. The contralto will be South African Julie Martin Carter. The strings are the Edinburgh String Quartet and Adrian Borney.
They actually had to reprint the parts.
My name is Adrian Borney, and I'm one of the double bass players in the Scottish Chamber Orchestra, and I also do some teaching and education work with a wide variety of ages. I know the composer of the music. I've known him for many, many years. We used to have quite exciting times in one of the former sections of the BBC in Glasgow. So our links go back quite a long way. New York is an important thing, and for people in Britain to know that this work has had exposure in New York, I think shows that there's value to what is being offered. And if that value is intrinsic in the music, and it has been accepted in New York, and people are writing favourably about that there, then that's a big lift. That's a big lift.
More locally, I have Asma Olafsson, the Icelandic baritone, and his pianist Anna Orvis, who has also played for a number of my shows.
I am Asma Olafsson, and I am a singer.
My name is Anna, and I'm a pianist. It would be nice to see the project grow from a mini opera to a full-scale opera. which would be new for me. I've never done a whole opera that would only just been written. That's very exciting.
Also, just to add to the opera repertoire, because we are always sort of performing, you know, 19th century stuff or early 20th century or even older, and it's great to have something new. And I think this opera form needs revitalizing and new additions.
I think that Graham Watt's music is beautifully melodic and beautifully put together, and I think he has a tremendous sense of drama and tragedy and love, and I think to have all of that bunched together into a modern opera about a historical story, I think it's an absolute recipe for success.
I agree. I think Graham's music, he knows how to write for voices. He can write fabulous tunes, and it's great fun to sing his songs.
This will be a professionally recorded performance by fine international musicians, which I can then take around various funding bodies, government and otherwise, with a view to raising the money for the writing and performance of the whole opera. I need £2,925. This money will go to pay these fine musicians and also for the studio time. As with all Kickstarter projects, there are rewards for you if you contribute. These range from a copy of the recording to an invitation to attend the recording session. Thanks very much for watching this video.